Hey everybody, a very wonderful and awesome good afternoon to all of you. Listen, I was just thinking about something and I thought that I should just share it with you. Um, a lot of times, separation can feel like loneliness. You are not lonely, you are just separated. We see people on stages that are anointed, and I mean people that you know when they do what God has called them to do, they are anointed. It's because they have sacrificed to be in those positions. People give up a lot for their calling, for the anointing on their life, for their ministry. People give up a lot. And so many times it's like, oh, people probably think, I know this, some of you may think this way. I wish I could have that. I wish I could. But the question really is, are we willing to sacrifice what those people sacrificed to be where they are? The anointing, the oil, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you people. It's going to cost you things. It's going to cost you a lot of things. It's going to cost you things that you love. It's going to cost you things that you adore. And I just thought to myself this afternoon, I'm like, man, it's not loneliness. At the beginning, when you want to have a real intimate relationship with God and you really want to draw closer to God, it's going to feel like you are lonely. You are not lonely. Let me just say that you are not lonely. You are just separated. Okay, we shouldn't get that, though, don't get that confused. You are not lonely, you are just separated. And in that period where you really start to get serious with God, God started to remove, and He starts with you and things inside of you and things in your life, and it will be like, Lord, how can you do this? But it's part of the separation, it's part of the anointing, it's part of the calling. So if you want to if you want to get closer to God and you want to have an intimate relationship with God, we need to be prepared. And I'm telling you, you will never be prepared. You will never be prepared for what you have to give up to have an intimate relationship with God. And I'm not talking about you just go to church on Sunday and you just go to a prayer meeting and you go to youth and you go to young adults, or whatever the case may. I mean, like, you really want to have an intimate relationship with God and you tell God, Father, purify me, cleanse my life. I promise you, you will lose so much, and you will lose what you never thought you would ever lose in your life. So when we see people ministering and they are anointed, people have to sacrifice a lot to be anointed. I'm not talking about playing with God. I'm not talking about pretending. I'm talking about having an intimate relationship, sacrificing prayer time, fasting, trying to live right. You're getting pushed here, you're getting shoved here, but you still have to keep focus on what you are called to do. Okay? So, separation is not loneliness. You are just set apart. You are just set apart by God. So, to anyone out there really want to have an intimate relationship with the Lord, ask God to give you spiritual maturity. Ask the Lord to give you divine strength for what you're about to lose, for where you are going, for what you have to sacrifice. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's really all worth it. Okay, so to any one of you, really wanting to have an intimate relationship with God, prepare yourself. Your separation is not loneliness. You are just separated. You are not lonely.